Welcome back to the World History. Today, we travel deep into the heart of time to uncover one of humanity's most sacred and symbolic traditions, marriage. Across continents and centuries, this union has taken countless forms. In this first chapter, Vows of the Ancients, we unravel the powerful rituals that laid the foundations for love, law, and legacy. We open in the cradle of civilization, ancient Mesopotamia. Under a sun-scorched stone arch, a bride and groom exchange vows surrounded by priests and cuneiform tablets. In this land of rivers and empires, marriage was less about romance and more about alliances. Land and legacy. We drift along the Nile, witnessing a royal Egyptian wedding. The pharaoh, adorned in gold, marries a high-born woman as lotus flowers rain down. The temple walls echo with prayers, and behind them, hieroglyphs immortalize the moment. Marriage in Egypt bound not just lovers but gods and kings in eternal unity. Crimson dominates the scene as we enter ancient China. Inside the Forbidden City, a bride and groom dressed in dragon-embroidered red silk bow before their ancestors. It's a lavish imperial wedding filled with fireworks and ritual, symbolizing harmony, prosperity, and the balance of yin and yang. The flames of tradition glow in India as we witness a sacred Hindu wedding. Vibrant saris, marigold garlands, and the ritual of circling the fire saptapadi reflect a union of souls across lifetimes. The chants echo promises of duty, compassion, and divine connection. We enter a grand Gothic cathedral in medieval Europe. The bride is wrapped in white lace, the groom clad in chainmail. Bells toll as nobility watch solemnly. This era saw marriage become a tool for diplomacy and a ritual sanctified by the church. We travel to the plains of Africa. Beneath a massive baobab tree, a traditional tribal wedding unfolds. The couple is adorned in colorful beadwork as elders chant blessings and the village drums beat to the rhythm of joy and unity. Now cherry blossoms drift through the air in feudal Japan. A Shinto wedding begins. The bride wears a white kimono. The groom bows in silence. Their ceremony is serene, focused on purity, ancestral spirits, and respect. Core values in Japanese society. Deep in a sacred forest, an indigenous Native American wedding is taking place. Surrounded by nature, the couple exchanges sacred vows with feathers, smoke, and blessings from the earth. Here, marriage is not only a union of people but of families, spirits, and nature. We stand under a Jewish chuppah, covered in flowers, with friends and family around. The couple shares vows, wine, and a symbolic glass-breaking moment. It's a covenant not only of love but of deep spiritual commitment. Passed through generations, marble pillars rise as we witness an ancient Greek wedding. Laurel wreaths crown the bride and groom. Offerings to Aphrodite and feasts follow. In this world of myths, love was often touched by the gods, and marriage cemented social standing and virtue. We begin in the heart of the Aztec Empire, where a wedding between nobles unfolds beneath a sacred stone temple. The bride and groom are dressed in vibrant feathered garments, their faces painted in ceremonial patterns. Around them, priests chant to the gods as offerings of maize, cacao, and obsidian are placed in the fire. Aztec marriages were arranged by matchmakers and approved by diviners, binding two lineages together in honor of the sun, the earth, and their ancestors. These unions weren't just emotional, they were spiritual contracts tied to cosmic cycles and royal duty. We shift to the lush rainforests of Mesoamerica for a glimpse of a Mayan wedding. Deep within the jungle, ancient ruins serve as the backdrop for a symbolic ritual. The bride and groom exchange gifts, jade beads, cacao pods, and sacred incense, while elders call on gods of fertility and abundance. The Mayans viewed marriage as a sacred balancing act between male and female energies, with strong ties to nature, astronomy, and agricultural harmony. A breathtaking multicultural wedding collage fills the screen. Indian brides in golden lehengas, Nigerian grooms in agbadas, Korean couples in hanboks, and Scottish bagpipers in kilts, all celebrating love in their own traditional styles. Each culture brings its own flavor, color, music, dance, and deep-rooted symbolism. This vibrant montage shows how marriage, while diverse in practice, universally binds hearts and histories in every corner of the world. Mist rolls over the Nordic coastline as we witness a Viking wedding beside a roaring bonfire. The groom grips an axe, the bride wears a fur-lined cloak. Their hands are tied with cloth in a handfasting ceremony, sealing their bond before gods like Odin and Freya. Viking weddings were bold, passionate, and filled with mead, feasts, and fierce oaths uniting not just people but clans and warrior. Legacy's waves crash behind a beautiful Polynesian beach wedding. The couple stands barefoot in the sand, wrapped in flower garlands called lei. Fire dancers perform under the twilight sky as elders chant blessings to the spirits of land and sea. Polynesian weddings are deeply connected to nature, filled with joy, song, and the echoes of ancient island customs passed through generations. We walk into a marble courtyard in ancient Rome, where a bride in a white stola and red veil joins hands with her groom. Guests throw nuts and wheat for fertility, and a priest oversees the ritual with sacred fire. Roman marriages blended civic duty with personal union designed to strengthen families, grow the republic, and honor deities like Juno and Venus by. The air fills with color and movement during a Zulu wedding in southern Africa. The bride wears intricate beadwork and a cowhide skirt, while the groom dances with a ceremonial shield. Family members exchange livestock as gifts, sealing alliances. These weddings are loud, joyful, and filled with ancestral power dance. Song and rhythm unite people as much as the vows themselves. We enter a serene courtyard for a traditional Korean wedding. The bride and groom wear elegant hanboks, kneeling before elders and sipping ceremonial wine from a shared gourd. A screen behind them shows cranes and pine trees, symbolizing long life and fidelity. Korean weddings blend respect, symbolism, and family honor into every gesture. The scene turns modern but poetic, a Western wedding atop a mountain cliff at sunset. The bride and groom exchange handwritten vows under the open sky. Though shaped by ancient customs, modern weddings now reflect personal stories, freedom, and emotional connection, merging the old and new. Finally, we step into the illuminated grandeur of a Byzantine imperial wedding. The couple wears heavy, jewel-encrusted robes and golden crowns, surrounded by clergy, candles, and mosaics of saints. The emperor's wedding is a sacred and political act, an event blessed by the church, binding two bloodlines for the glory of empire and eternity. From jungle fires to royal palaces, these traditions show how marriage has always been more than a ritual. It's the heartbeat of every culture, expressing identity, values, and dreams through every vow whispered and every drumbeat heard. We witness a powerful shift in time, a celebration of LGBTQ+ unions in ancient or tribal settings. In this respectful and historically grounded image, two individuals exchange vows surrounded by their community, adorned in traditional clothing. Though often erased from mainstream records, many ancient cultures, including some Native American, Mesopotamian, and Southeast Asian societies, recognize same-sex partnerships in spiritual or social forms. These unions show that love in its many expressions has always existed. Even when history tried to silence it, we see a bride walking alone down a quiet aisle. It's not a traditional scene, it's a solo marriage or sologamy. In some modern cultures, individuals are choosing to marry themselves as a declaration of self-love, healing, and independence. Though controversial, this movement represents how far the idea of marriage has come from obligation to personal empowerment. We dive into the digital age with a virtual wedding ceremony. A couple, separated by continents, exchanges vows through holograms and screens, watched by friends via livestream. What was once unthinkable is now reality. Technology is reshaping connection, and marriage continues to evolve with it. Even in distance, the rituals persist. Rings, vows, and the deep need to be seen and united. We return briefly to tradition, but with a twist. A modern couple blends their diverse heritages into a fusion wedding. An Indian bride in a red sari dances beside a Western groom in a tuxedo under a decorated mandap and arch. Cultures no longer stay in silos. Globalization has birthed weddings that are a celebration of unity, diversity, and mutual respect. A stunning image appears, a renewal of vows ceremony between an elderly couple. They stand under a tree, hands wrinkled but strong, surrounded by grandchildren. This moment reflects the essence of enduring love, reminding us that marriage isn't just about beginnings, but also about growth, resilience, and deep commitment through decades of life. We see an eco-friendly wedding, where every detail, attire, food, and decor is sustainable. The couple plants a tree instead of cutting a cake. Modern marriage now often reflects shared values like environmental consciousness, showing how global concerns are shaping even personal rituals. We zoom into a courtroom wedding. No frills, no fanfare, just two people, a judge, and a promise. These civil ceremonies reflect simplicity, accessibility, and legal clarity. Marriage today is as much a civil right as it is a romantic gesture. We're taken into a military wedding, where the couple embraces just before deployment. The groom wears uniform, the bride holds back tears. Time is precious, and vows are exchanged with urgency and courage. These ceremonies reveal the strength of love under pressure and the role of marriage in times of uncertainty. Finally, we return to a timeline collage, capturing scenes from all three chapters: ancient rituals, vibrant cultures, and modern innovations. From sacred temples to digital screens, from royal alliances to personal commitments, marriage has always adapted to the heartbeat of its time. And through it all, one truth remains unchanged: the human desire to connect, to love, and to promise a future together.